Evening gang, evening gang. Did you find us again? Oh dear, that went terribly wrong, didn't it? That went terribly wrong. I hit a wrong button then. Which stopped the stream. And because I'm going to restream and then YouTube rather than straight to YouTube, I dropped the connection. It stops, literally, and you have to start again. So I hope you found us. Yeah. If there's anyone still in the other chat box, let them know, because that went terribly wrong. I'm so sorry, darlings. I'm so sorry about that, but they'll find us again eventually, I'm sure. Evening, gang. It's Monday, the 24th of May, 2021. A very good evening to you, and welcome to this evening's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. I'll just try and do something with the one that wasn't that we've lost. Let's delete that, and otherwise people are going to get confused, aren't they? I'm so sorry. Sometimes we do something wrong with that, and there we go. So there's just one live stream up there. That went terribly wrong there. Terribly, terribly wrong. Do you know, I think that's the first time that's happened for over a year, isn't it? Do you remember when we used to lose the connection and it would like stop and then it would appear in another window? But that's what happened then. Literally, I hit the wrong button. That stopped the thing to restream. And when it stops it to restream, it ends all the other videos, right? Do you know what I mean? Everything ends, okay? So you literally have to start again. It doesn't take long, but it means instead of being at that website address, you're at that one anyway. So I hope you found us again. If there's anyone sort of tagging along there, do try and find us, okay? Good evening, gang. Welcome along. As always, gang, if you're in a chat box or a comment section, I don't look at comments, or I'm not in any chat boxes at all. To contact me on the show, please use the phone number at the top there. That's a texting number. It's not a phone number. Text number 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337. Or you can use the email for now, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and I'll read out your messages on there. The phone line will be open quite quickly this evening. Quite quickly, because I want to talk about weddings. Want to talk about weddings tonight. Have you been married? What was your wedding like? Was it all right? I've been married. Yep, believe it or not, I was married as well. Our wedding was in a registry office. And the reception was in my old scout hut, the Failstrahampton Scouts, which sadly no longer exists, unfortunately. Just one of those things. The Scouts were there for years and years, and I grew up with that particular scout troop, the First Roehampton, as a carb, and then a scout, and then a venture scout, and then a leader, and then got married, moved away a little bit, got unmarried, moved back, but I didn't rejoin the Scouts. Loads and loads of other stuff happened in my life, and I never went back to the Scouts. Once I'd left, I never went back. And then I found a couple of years ago, funnily enough, that the First Roehampton Scouts had disbanded, as indeed had the Second Roehampton and the Third Roehampton as well. Now, I was a leader at the Third Roehampton Scouts. It was a very small cub pack. We only had a cub pack down there. And once they became Scouts, they moved up to the First Roehampton, you see. But there's nothing there now, and I just find that really sad. Really sad that the wonderful times I had as a cub and a scout, you know, are no longer there for other people. If you see what I mean. Just going to whack myself up a little. We're having technical issues this evening, aren't we? Yeah, and I think it's really sad that other people now can't join that. But there you go. I mean, they got them in Putney, I think, and Wimbledon and places like that. But yeah, really sad about that. Really sad. Anyway, so our wedding reception was in a scout hut. And it was a scout leader, actually, that provided all the catering. You know, it was like a buffet type thing. Wooden trellis tables, bit of a disco going on in the corner. And that was our wedding, really. Not like an over-the-top one. Of course, I've DJ'd, not recently, but certainly in the 80s. I DJ'd at a lot of people's weddings. And they went as far as, like, the Richmond Hill Hotel, which is like a 5-star hotel. I did in there. And back down to the other end, which you would include as scout huts and social clubs. I mean, I've seen some weddings with some wonderful sit-down meals and, you know, waiters and waitresses running all over the place, serving people. And then I've seen, you know, at the high-end type thing, proper photographers and all that business. And then again, at the lower end, like for myself, in scout huts, where you've got just a buffet on some trellis tables. Nice buffet, mind, you know, well, foil over there. It's always very exciting, don't you think, when the foil and the plastic stuff comes off the sandwiches and things like that, doesn't it? Don't you think? But did you have a wedding? What was your wedding like? If you'd like to call in and tell me this evening, I'd love to hear about that. How was your wedding? Do you remember it? I bet you do, especially if you're still in love with the person. Perhaps not so much if you don't. Oh dear. Or maybe you've just been to a good wedding. And I bring up this subject because Boris is getting married, boys and girls. Boris Johnson is getting married to the lovely Carrie Symonds. I mentioned this morning on the radio show. Carrie doesn't live here anymore. Carrie doesn't live on the second floor. I wonder if she's been to Cliff Richard's flat. I wonder if Boris has been there. Anyway, in the Mail Online, the Prime Minister, he's younger than me. It comes to something, doesn't it? When the Prime Minister is younger than you. That's when you start feeling really old. Fortunately, as you can see, I don't look it. Pardon? No, I don't. Great niece Evie always tells me that I look old. She was saying my show. She's made up this new song, new words, the song Peaches, which includes something about this show being rubbish. How rude is that? Rude. The Prime Minister, 56, and Miss Symonds, 33, have sent out save-the-date cards to friends and family for their event, which will be on June the 30th next year. Will there be a bank holiday for that? Are we having a bank holiday for Boris's wedding? I think that's an excellent idea. They got engaged in 2019. They had to delay the wedding due to coronavirus. Infections all over the place. It's not yet known where exactly they will celebrate the occasion, but friends of the couple claim they will host the large gathering next year when the COVID crisis will hopefully have died down a lot, okay? So that's Boris, and I wonder what it would be like. Would it be like perhaps your wedding was? It says, Mr. Johnson's Buckinghamshire country place, Chequers. Have you been there? I'm hoping to be asked to do the mobile discotheque. You know, I can bring out dust off those old little speakers of mine, maybe throw together a rope light and a couple of light bulbs in some boxes and take it down there. Give it the old EO. I can see Boris Johnson taking to the floor when it comes to do the conga. Yeah. Da 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 da. Stop. Don't look at my bum. No looking at my bum. Perverts. Every last one of you. What's wrong with you? Pervs. Yes, he's going to be at Chequers, they reckon, which other places include locations including Kent's Port Limpney Safari Park, where Miss Symonds works. Mr. Johnson and Miss Symonds are the first unmarried couple to live in Downing Street, having moved in during July 2019. The Prime Minister proposed to her while on holiday in Mustique in the Caribbean. Have you been there? Oh, I've been there. Of course I've been there, dear. I've been everywhere. Maybe not Peru. I've been to Mustique, only for the day. What a beautiful place that is. This little plane lands, you know, one of those little 10-seater things, lands at the airport, and immediately you get this smell of flowers. It's just beautiful. Me and my friend Steve went there, 1996, something like that, I think it was. I've got pictures somewhere of that. Pictures of Barbados. And it's a beautiful place. Barbados and all those other places that we visited while we were there. Mustique is beautiful. And we went on a little tour on a bus and they took us to the beach. And I remember, I think we saw possibly Princess Margaret's place there. Yeah, when she was, she had a place up there. But a stunning place. Why don't they get... They should get married in Mystique then, I reckon. I think that would be a nice place to get married. I was best man at my mate's wedding in St. Lucia, Caribbean. That was a nice place as well. So good luck to them. I wonder what the wedding will be like, you know. Checkers, you can imagine. They'll probably have a large band playing. Do you think they'll have like a star singing? Perhaps he could ask some of our karaoke singers, couldn't he? Yeah, he could ask some of our karaoke singers to come to... I could see Maureen banging out a couple of tunes. She could do Ticket to Ride, you know, like in keeping with the plane. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket. And Roy could be there. Roy could be there doing My Old Man's a Dustman, something like that. I think that's an excellent idea. We can have Ray Reynolds and Johnny Key on the ukuleles. Cleaning those windows, something like that. I think this is a marvellous idea. What do you reckon the wedding will be like? Or maybe it'll be a little bit of a more downbeat affair. You know, sausage rolls and vol-au-vents on a wooden trellis table there in the corner. You know, the lady and the man making all the food, you know, woodbine hanging out their mouths, ash being dripped all over the top of the food. You got the crisps, the big bowl of crisps in the corner. Everyone's got their hands in there, haven't they? All those mucky little kids have got their hands in there where they've been dribbling all over them. Don't bother you. In goes your hand. Cheese and... Why is it at weddings they mix the bloody crisps up, don't they? How annoying is that? How annoying is that? Just put the cheese and onion in there, because the trouble is they always put prawn cocktail in. Oh, I don't like the smell. Not keen with prawn cocktail, I'm afraid. Don't like prawn cocktail crisps. No. Evil things. Not my cup of tea at all. Well, not my type of crisp at all. They should have cheese and onion there, and with little labels so that we know what's in there. You dick your hand in, you get... Oh, prawn cocktail. Prawn cocktail crisps has just entered my bloodstream. Nasty. Nasty. And then right in the middle of the table, holding the centre of attention... No, it's not the cake. The big bowl of bacteria, also known as coleslaw. What is growing in that, for God's sake, after 2 hours it's been sitting there? People breathing it over. The thing is, it's making its own coronavirus in the blooming in the coleslaw. I'm telling you that now. Evil stuff. Little sticks of French bread ready to be cut up. That thing of butter that no one ever puts the top back on. Oh, dear me. Do you reckon Boris's wedding will be like that? What do you think Boris's wedding will be like? Good evening to Ollie K texting in. Good evening, Ollie. Hope you're well. He's had his first vaccine today. Oh, that's early. You're young, aren't you? What, 13 years old? I didn't think they were doing you lot yet. Evening, Chris. Had my first vaccine today and have had a bit of a sore arm, but I'm sure I'll be fine tomorrow. I reckon you will, Ollie. It's all about positive thinking. Positive thinking. That's what we need. Evening to Gary Ross. Good evening, Gary. Good evening to the lovely Shania Steele. Good evening, Shania. Nice to see your little face popping up there, Shania. And good evening to Paul in Amsterdam. And who else? We got Ray Reynolds in the house. Good evening, Ray. Hello to you, Ray. All right. Okay, gang. 020-8144-3477 if you want to call in this evening. Colin's in the house. Good evening, Colin. Hope you're well. Enjoyed the karaoke on Friday. Great to see it back online. Thank you, Colin. Yes, I was aware that the sound wasn't good at the beginning, but we got round to that. Of course, David in Hemel, straight on there. As soon as he realised the sound wasn't right, straight on there, moaning his bloody head off. You know, I told you, my concern is that the sound is right in the venue, and it was. What it wasn't all right is coming out. I mean, would you rather it not on at all? Do you know what I mean? Always someone moaning, isn't there? Pointing out something wrong all the time. I don't know. Ollie's, no, it's not his. It's not the coronavirus one. Oh, well, what injection have you had, Ollie? A flu one, or maybe oh, is it that 3-way one? Mumps and something else, is it? Mumps and something else, is it? Mumps, measles, and something else. Is that what you've had there? Do let us know. Anyway, that's the wedding story. So good luck to them, Good luck to them if they want to get married. And we look forward to the pictures. No doubt they'll be selling them to OK Magazine. When I got married, OK Magazine were all over me, I said, no, I'm sorry, it's a private affair. We don't want your £1,000,000 for our little photographs, dear. Don't want them, thanks very much. Now, some of you mentioned in the karaoke. Yes, indeed, we had a great karaoke on Friday night. It was so nice to be back. We wiped, I have a bottle of spray disinfectant. Incidentally, anyone who's just joining us on the show today, because our other stream it was my fault, I hit the wrong button, basically, and I cut myself off. So sorry about that. We're in a different window now, I know, and all that, which makes it really confusing. So everything I shared, because I try and share to lots of groups before the start of the show, all those shares, now all they're going to see is the clock and then it stops, because this is like a completely different web page and all that. That's one of those things. So sorry about that. I'm glad you found us again, really. And of course, if you're in a chat box or making comments somewhere, I don't see those. You need to send a text to me, please. 07451 287 337. The text number, it's not a premium rate number. It's just a normal text number. All right, I'm not in a chat box or looking at comments. To get a message to me, please send a text there, 07451 287 337, or you can use the email. The email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Let's read some of your emails. Good evening to James McAllister. Good evening, James. Hello to you, sir, who says you look fab, Chris. Oh, I don't know about that. It's not bad, is it, dear? Look at my age, dear. My age. But do you know what my mate said to me on the phone yesterday? He said, I'm going to get you teeth whitening for Christmas. What? Not that bad, are they? Teeth whitening. Apparently it's the tea that does me, and I drink enormous amounts of tea, gallons of the blooming stuff. I don't smoke. I don't drink coffee or wine or anything else. It's only the tea that's staining my teeth. And he wants me. I said, I don't want to look stupid like Simon Cowell and all these people that have had their teeth and blooming lip and the lips and the lips and all that done. People say, well, let them take them. Why are you taking the mick out of them? Because they look stupid. Too many people walking around here not saying anything, dear. I mean, I look stupid and all, I know that. But those lips, which someone we were watching on the telly the other day, I can't remember, and it was so obvious that they'd had their blooming lips done, dear. Do you think Amanda Holden's had anything done? Did you see her on the Eurovision? God's sake. What was she doing? What was she doing, dear? In fact, there's a little story. Was there a little story? Did I put the story out? I don't think I did, actually. Hang on a minute. Let me have a quick look. No, I mean, we'll come on to the Eurovision in a minute. But back to the karaoke. Yeah, it was really good. Not only that, someone bought me in a little gift. Paul Bellman. Paul. He bought me a little gift. It was a little bag there. Something to thank you for your return. And in there was bars of Galaxy chocolate. 1, 2, 3. That was on Friday, though. There were actually 6. I've had 3 of these already. Please don't bring chocolate in. I've had 3 of these already, and I've got another 3 to have. I mean, I could give them away as a gift, I suppose, but they're so expensive to post in the post, aren't they, my darlings? So that won't be happening, I'm afraid. But, just going back to that teeth thing, my mate says, I said, I don't want to look stupid. He said, no, you don't have to look stupid. It'll go back down to a natural colour. I said, these are natural. I haven't done anything to them. Whatever you do, they're going to whiten a bit, aren't they? And I think they look stupid. They look stupid. I've seen it so many times before. Anyway, thank you, James. James and Paul in Amsterdam. Evening to you two. Nice to see you there. James and Paul in Amsterdam, where the tulips are. Good evening to Dan Woodhouse, who's up at the Mother's tonight, having a dead animal for dinner. What are you having now? Poor little chicken. Poor little sod, those chickens, dear. You're such an evil person. They're lovely chickens. They've all got little personalities. We went to see them when we went to the Seal Sanctuary in Mablethorpe a couple of weeks ago. They had a little section of chickens. They're hilarious. Chickens are the funniest things ever. I talk to them, especially if I'm when I'm up in Lincolnshire and I'm either cycling or driving along the river. Often they're on the road, and I talk to them. Move along, girls. Come on, girls. Move along. And let legs go. My mate Alton Andrews, he's got chickens, and they had babies. And I told you this before, didn't I? He went out and I said, "Can I have a look at your chickens?" And he took me out there. And he called. I can't remember if he called them or shook a box or something like that. But out come the mum chicken, followed by all these little identical little chickens following her. They're only tiny, hilarious things. And now you're eating one. Poor chickens. Evening to Lee Toby. He enjoyed the karaoke on Friday. Nice to see some of the regulars back. Yes, it was indeed. In fact, Martin actually has just texted me now. Martin, he's the one that I always say should be a James Bond, you see. And, yeah, he's a nice fella. And he just texted me now to say how much he enjoyed Friday night. So very pleased about that. 0208 144 3477 if you're going to call in tonight, my darlings. Thank you, Lee. Where else are we? More text there. There we go. Paul in Amsterdam has had his first COVID injection in Amsterdam on Saturday. The Pfizer one. Got it as I've got up to doing the people who get the flu jab now. Second jab in 4 weeks' time. Yes, I've had both. I've had both of my injections now. No real side effects other than feeling a bit tired. One thing I have got, and I noticed it a couple of days after, it may be nothing to do with it at all. I noticed it a couple of days after my second AstraZeneca injection, is tinnitus. Now, I've had it for years and years, right in the background, but it's got louder. And it happened very suddenly. So I don't know if that's anything to do with that, or since doing the radio show, I have these headphones. And my God, I mean, they have been really loud. Since the tinnitus got loud, I have them loud when I'm talking, and then when the music comes off, I just put them around my neck. So I still hear. I want to hear the music that I'm playing. I like to be part of the show. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you don't have to listen to the music even. You could just talk, but I mean, I don't see the point in doing a radio show unless you're sitting there enjoying the music. Really, what's the point in doing that? You know, I mean, Danny Davis does that. He just sends in the little talking bits and that. But one of those things. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But we'll have to see. Maybe I should ring the doctor. I don't know. Hello to Ricky and Brad watching the show tonight. Good evening, Ricky and Brad. Oh, Ricky, he's in Lanzarote. Evening, Ricky. Lanzarote. Is Brad in Lanzarote with you as well at the moment? Is he with us? Or is he still over there? Thanks very much, sir. Adrian Richardson. Just talking about the karaoke there. Thank you, Adrian. Richard said tinnitus is a sign of high blood pressure. So, and he also says on the subject of the chocolate, he would have eaten all 6 of these in the first 24 hours. I've at least restricted myself to one a day. One a day. High blood pressure. Now, funny you should mention it, actually. Last time I went to the doctors, they always do bloods. My next visit, actually, it's soon. When's my next visit to special doctor? 1 minute. Look at this. Honestly, look at the size of this blooming calendar. Ordered the wrong one. Oh, we got a phone call. Hang on. Let's take this call. Hello, who's on the line? Oh, no, we missed that. Do you want to try that again, please? I just missed you there. I might have not got to you in time. Finishing 8-3. Give us another call and I'll take your call there. June the 16th is my next doctor's appointment there. Maybe I should... Can you get like go in the chemist and have a blood pressure thing? Because the last time, and it's the first time he's ever said it to me. First time he's ever said to me, he said, your blood pressure's a bit high. That was all. Well, it could be, I suppose. What would cause that, though? Being too fat? It being too fat, does that cause higher blood pressure? How do you get a blood pressure test? Do you literally have to go to the doctors or something like that? I'm not quite sure. 0208 144 3477 is... 020 8144 3477 is my phone in number. Give us a call tonight and we'll have a chinwag about that. But yes, I think perhaps I should have a look at that blood pressure thing. Just to let you know, I noticed on the last couple of shows, actually, the karaoke as well, the karaoke and the last talk show we did, I did notice that sometimes the texts are a little bit slow coming through. I don't know why that is. That just happens sometimes, I think. So if it takes a little while to get to your text sometimes, it's probably stuck and on its way. All right, so let's talk Eurovision. I don't want to go on about it too much, simply because we did Eurovision last Friday. We were talking last Friday about Eurovision, and actually you didn't appear to be that interested. No one really texted in while I was chatting away about it, or indeed called in. So I won't go on too much about it. But I did see it. I did, of course, see it on Saturday. I had £20 sitting in a betting account. Thank you. Your local pharmacy. Oh, Adrian says your local pharmacy. All the running, the supermarket will do your pressure for you. Not a little, though. Okay, I'll go down the pharmacy. I'll go down the pharmacy and they'll do it for me. Actually, I could pop down there tomorrow, I think. What is it tomorrow? Tuesday? Yeah, I'll pop down there tomorrow. Yeah. Good idea. Because I did have a little bit of a migraine as well. I wonder if I've got high blood pressure. What causes that? I mean, it's not like I'm not getting enough exercise. I'm always out there walking around, you know. Yes, Eurovision. So I watched it Saturday night. And I thought it was coming from Amsterdam. I thought, the Netherlands. Yeah, is that Netherlands? Was it Dutch? It was Amsterdam, wasn't it, Paul? Was it Amsterdam? I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was Amsterdam or somewhere in the Netherlands that it was coming from. I thought the actual TV company that put the whole thing together, amazed. Absolutely amazing. It cost millions to put that on there. Millions. Right, and the graphics were good, the camera work was good, the staging was good, the presenters were great, very, very laid back. I didn't realise that the really big lady was in fact a trans. Okay, she'd become a woman, and I thought she was fabulous, actually, absolutely fabulous she was. And of course the lady, well, all four of them were really good. All four of them were really good. The bloke who had the tuxedo on, he had like a permanent grin on his face though. Which occasionally you let drop, you know, like that. I think possibly the worst part of the night, apart from the voting, was when Amanda Holden came on. She was just crap. Why have they got her on? I mean, Britain's Got Talent. Please, where is the talent? I mean, she's a singer and all that. I know that, but I don't know. Anyway, so all the songs came on and you liked some of them. You didn't like others. I put £20 on Malta, which I had 20 quid sitting in a betting account that had been there for ages. So I used that. Of course, I didn't win it. She looked gutted, actually, the girl from Malta. You know, she was lovely. Came across as a nice person. And I also quite liked the thought of Israel, but I knew they wouldn't get many points because of the troubles over there. The Italy one, that one, really not my cup of tea at all. No. Didn't like it. There was another rock song on there from Finland. Now I thought they were pretty good, the Finland people, but not the one that won. But that, you know, I'm not unhappy that they won. People vote for that. Fine, that's okay. No problem with that at all. I've got no problem with anyone being above us in the scoring. That doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me is that the song was not the worst in there. Certainly not the worst. I mean, some people are on there, so-called experts are on there. Oh, it was the worst song ever and all this business. That was not the worst song ever. The worst song ever was when that Pratt went jumping around the stage doing a rap. Do you remember him? I can't even remember what the song was. Awful. Awful. And of course, it wasn't the only time that we've received 0 points. But it wasn't the best song. I would have popped that in the top 15. Easy. 15 out of, what is it, about 30, something like that? Well, I can't remember the number now. I reckon that's where it was. Did it deserve to get 0 points? Now, you know it didn't. That song did not deserve to get 0 points. And when the scoring came on and the jurors got to the bottom and they come out, 0 points for the jurors, I jumped up at the telly. And my mate was sitting there. Now, he hates Eurovision. He must have been that bored that he had to come round to my house that night. And he sat there and he watched it with me. And is saying it's all fixed. And then I calmed down a bit and I sat down. I said, well, actually, we've still got the telephone voting to come, where people from all over Europe vote by telephone. That usually makes a difference. So we've gone through all these votes, and it comes to the telephone voting. And the bloke on there, the bloke with the tuxedo, announces, now it's the telephone votes. We always start with the person who's got the lowest votes at the moment, which is the United Kingdom with 0 points. So here are the telephone votes for the United Kingdom. And the United Kingdom has received 0 points. And at that point, I just lost the plot. And lads, those of you lads who go into pubs and watch football matches and scream and shout at the telly, now I understand where you're coming from. Because I did exactly the same on Saturday night in front of the Eurovision. I was fuming. He did not deserve to get 0 points. That's just nasty. Really nasty. Maybe you thought it was the worst song. Or are you just saying that because it was last? You know, did you really think that was the worst song on Saturday night? Because I didn't think it was. In fact, I thought one of the worst songs was the Switzerland one, which came second. But I suppose it's about your perception of music, isn't it, really? What you like. I'm kind of stuck in the old school Eurovision, boom, bang, a bang, and Kisses for Me and that sort of thing. Perhaps that's why I like San Marino. I love the San Marino one. I love the Israeli one. But the Malta one, the reason I like the Malta one best, towards the end of the song, it goes down an octave, da, 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 a little bit like that. And in my head, and I haven't worked out which one it was, it reminded me of another song, that a dance track that I've played in my DJing days in the 90s. In fact, there was quite a few songs in there that you recognised other bits from other songs. I mean, there was an obvious Lady Gaga one there. Bad Romance, that one. La 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 la. It was so obvious, that bit in there. There was other songs with bits of people's other songs in them, if you see what I mean. But we did not deserve 0 points. That was just downright nasty. I'm sorry. And no points from Australia? What's going on there? No points from Ireland, our closest friends. Australia and Ireland, out of all those countries I would class as our closest friends. Nothing. And of course it was as usual going on between Greece and Cyprus. Say no more. 12 points each every single year without fail. The Greek one was all right as well. She didn't do too well. But even on the audience voting, and then San Marino got quite a low score. And with Flo Rida, he came on, didn't he? Old Flo Rida came on there. He was all right. But that's my thoughts on that. I just don't think he deserved 0 points. That was just cruel. 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 Shania texts in. Shania says, I've been sailing today at work. She's been sailing. I've been sailing. Did you sing while he was on the boat, Shania? I know Shania was very upset by the score on Saturday night as well. Her and Vectis, her dad, do a radio show, which you must listen to. Vectis Radio, Sunday afternoons, 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. I'm usually there sort of for the first couple of hours. I was hoovering, actually, while I was listening to you on Saturday. I was doing a bit of cleaning on Sunday. Very unusual. I must have been so bored. I was cleaning on Sunday. Even on top of a stool, on top of the wardrobe. The dust, dear! The dust! There must have been stuff living up there before I dusted it all away. So that's what I was doing. Vectis Radio, Sunday afternoons, 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Do give them a listen. Shania and her dad, and she was talking about it, and she said exactly the same as me. It was very, very unfair and nasty that he got nothing. Someone did mention what he was wearing. What do you expect when you come on the stage wearing a black bin liner? There's an element of truth to that. I didn't rate his costume that well. But then again, I think he was trying to create the image of exactly what he was. Basically an ordinary bloke singing on the stage. There was no grandeur about him at all. No sparkliness, nothing. Just a bloke singing on a box on the stage. Perhaps that worked not in his favour. People could look at that, I suppose, and say, well, he's not made much of an effort. You know, I don't know. I don't know. For me, it's about the song. The song was good. The song was good. But then when you see the staging, because I think on the Eurovision it does make a difference to the staging of how it looks. And there's some wonderful staging on there Saturday night at San Marino. Very colourful. Bright colours all over the place. And the song with the red boxes and... Again, the Israeli one, that had a lot of colour in it, didn't it? And when the two rock bands, Italy and Finland came on, the fire coming up and all that business and going on. Fantastic staging. And then our bloke comes on and stands on a box with a couple of trumpets either side. And I thought, oh, you know, is that it? And maybe that didn't work in his favour. Or maybe they just don't like us. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Paul Brown, hello, Paul. Hello, darling. Kiss, kiss. Paul says, I wanted Malta to ring. Yes, me too. I lost me 20 quid, but it doesn't matter. I thought she was fabulous. Germany was a sort of George Formby on acid. Very funny. Yes, he was good, wasn't he? That German lad. Very camp, dear. Was like a George. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was like a bit like a George Formby, wasn't it? Like a young George Formby. Thank you, Paul. Let's have a look. Ricky and Brad are watching. Can you say congratulations to Kelly with the new sheep? What's that mean? Kelly with the new sheep. Meh. What's Kelly with the new sheep? Who's got a sheep? You haven't bought a sheep, have you? Meh. Is it Welsh Wales? Welsh Wales. Ricky and Brad in the house. Are you in... Where are you? Are you in Lanzarote at the moment, Ricky? Richard says the United Kingdom spend a fortune on each year on Eurovision as we were one of the original countries, and it's about time we stopped funding this competition. I also think all the songs should be in English and we shouldn't know which country they're from and vote on their singing ability, not where they live. So that's Richard's point on that one. Our mother is speaking. We must listen when mother speaks. And yes, you're right. We do spend a fortune. There are 5 countries that spend the most money. It's us, Italy, who won, France, Germany and Spain. And yet when you looked at that score, and it shouldn't be about money, really. And because of that, because we put so much money in. Now, I don't know if it's split up equally between the 5 countries. I don't know. Those 5 countries put most of the money in. Now, whether we all spend, I don't know, £1 million each, I don't know. I don't know how that works, right? I actually think that's unfair. I think it's unfair, not so much the money going in, but the fact that those 5 countries, that gives them an automatic entry into the final. Now, I actually don't think that's fair on all the other countries. I think every single country should have to go through those semi-finals to be voted through to the final. Just because we're paying a load of money in, and France, and Germany, and Spain, and Italy, just because we're paying a lot of money in, why should we be allowed to buy ourselves into that final? To me, that's unfair. I mean, it obviously doesn't help, because we still got 0. In fact, when you looked at that scoreboard at the end, in the bottom 5 were 3 of the countries, 3 out of 5, who put the most money in. That being said, the other ones that put the most money in, Italy, of course, won. So, you know, I don't know so much. But I do think it's unfair that basically because we put so much money in, and the other 4 countries, because those 5 countries put a lot of money in, they jump the queue, basically. Bit like having a private doctor or private healthcare, isn't it? They're allowed to jump the queue, and I think that's unfair. At the end of the day, it's a bloody singing competition, right? So why should anyone be allowed to pay a load of money and jump the queue and go straight into the final? I think that's unfair as well. Anyway, if you've got any more thoughts on that, send it on a text, 07451 287 337, 07451 287 337. James says it was in the Netherlands, hosted in Rotterdam. Thank you very much, James. Rotterdam, of course it was. Rotterdam, I forgot about that. Rotterdam, not Amsterdam. Do you have tulips in Rotterdam, though? That's the question, you know. Very important to know these things. Thank you. Evening to Mark Jones. Hello, Mark. He says, I hope all is well. Just tuning in at work. So instead of using my phone, I'm using my email so my boss thinks I'm working. He said, how crap was that rubbish programme on BBC that was on Saturday night? Well, you know, a little unfair. I mean, you can't say that the programme was crap because it wasn't. I don't think it was crap, the actual programme itself, you know. I thought it was very well put together. The fact that we got hardly any points is really neither here nor there. But the programme itself was all right. All right. Okay, doke, gang. What else have we got here on our little show tonight? 0208 144 3477. If you want to call in, you don't have to. Good news with the oven. Good news with the oven, actually. Now, you know the saga of the oven, don't you? I had 2 Hoover ovens, okay? And I sent them both back. The clock kept resetting. They'd come on, generally. At least when I was standing there, they would come on, okay? But there was a couple of occasions where I went out. They were both Wi-Fi ovens, so I should have been able to turn them on and off wherever I am in the world by the app, which was handy. You could put your stuff in the oven and then, right, I'm going home now, I'll put it on, and then by the time you get back, the idea is dinner's ready, except it just didn't work. The clock kept resetting itself to 0. So I sent back one oven, sent back the oven, the other one, and the company I bought them from were very good. They replaced it immediately, but then the second one started going. So the third oven I caught was a Hotpoint. Now, unfortunately, this one didn't have Wi-Fi on it. It's got a timer on it. But to go Wi-Fi, you'd have to spend another couple of £100. And to me, that really wasn't worth it. It's all right with a timer. It's okay with a timer. It just means if you set that timer for 12 o'clock, you've got to be back by 12 o'clock. There's no, and you know what I'm like when I'm doing my litter picking over in the forest. I mean, I always intend to go out for about an hour and a half. I've been over there 3 hours. You suddenly look at I don't look at my watch. It's usually my mate that rings me and he said, oh, hello, how are you? I said, well, what time is it then? He said, what time do you think it is? 12 o'clock? It's 1:30. Time goes so quickly when I'm over that forest collecting people's litter. Which I do voluntary. And if you've got the timer on, you're going to get back and, well, I mean, the dinner wouldn't be burnt because, you set the timer to start and stop, don't you? So if you set it for 45 minutes, it'll be cooked. But by the time you get back, it'll go stone cold again, wouldn't it? So that was the idea of having the Wi-Fi one. But I had trouble. I thought there was something wrong with the ovens. Well, guess what? I set the timer on the Hotpoint oven twice, and I've got back and the clock's reset, which means once the clock resets it just doesn't start. And I thought, oh, you're joking. Well, it can't be the oven, can it? Can't be the oven. Anyway, I asked both on the show last week and no one came. I don't think anyone came back to us. And I asked my brother-in-law night before last on the telephone, what did he think? He said, it sounds like you've got a loose wire in a plug. I said, do you think it's the breaker, disconnecting and resetting? He said, no, the breakers will not reset on their own. You've got to physically do something for them to reset. Okay, fair enough. He said, I reckon there's a loose wire in one of your sockets. So I've got the big red button on the wall. That goes into a domestic socket, which is underneath the counter that the oven plugs into. So I turned off the electric and I had a look at the thing on the wall, right? Couldn't find, everything was nice and tight in there, no loose wires whatsoever. All the screws are nice and tight. Put that back on the wall. Okay. I then turned on power again just to check it was still working in case I'd knocked something out of place. Do you know what I mean? It was still on again. So I turned it off again, waited a little while. Or I always wait a little while, you know, after I've turned, cause in case there's any residual electricity somewhere in the wires. It probably isn't, but, you know, I'm a bit careful like that. Went underneath the worktop, and that was difficult to get to, that one. Undid the 2 screws, pulled the socket off, well, that one. And under there, I didn't find a wire come out. What I found is one of the screws, you know, in a socket, you got a little hole, and the wire sticks in the hole, and there's a screw, isn't there? The screw in the positive had completely come loose. How's that happened? No one's been in there. That socket has been in there 15, 20 years, that socket's been there. And the only thing I can think of is that there is a fan. I always get fan ovens, right? And maybe there's a little bit of a vibration in the fan oven that has undone that screw. And it was just so undone, this screw. It wasn't a case of just tightening it a little bit. No, I had to turn that screw a few times. So, of course, that means it's not quite touching the wire. And so I've put that back together, put that back together, put it back on, turn the oven on, and I used the timer today while I was out litter picking. And when I got back, the oven had already been on for 20 minutes, so it hadn't reset. So I'm hoping that was the fault, which is a blooming shame because I could have had a Wi-Fi oven down there. You know, but that's just how it is now, you know. I just put up with the timer and that's it. The next oven I get will be a Wi-Fi, but I don't suppose that'll be for another 15 years. The other oven, 15 years that oven lasted, you know. Always trying to sell you those extended warranties, aren't they? Oh, for just £2.50 a month. Yeah, £2.50 for this, £5 for that, £6. It all adds up, dear. And the other oven, I've had 2 ovens here. One lasted about 12 years and the other one about 15 years. So, can't complain with that, you know. How much was it? 250 quid? Something like that. I can't remember now. But hopefully that's it. So I've used it once. We'll know in a few weeks' time. If I keep using that timer and it doesn't go wrong, we'll know that was a problem with. So if Martin's watching tonight, which he sometimes is, thank you very much. I think we've, you, not me, you have solved the problem. So thank you. Yes. Anyone else want anything, any DIY done at all? Do let me know. Okay. Richard said, do you prefer daffodils on your piano or tulips on your organ? I don't know. Bit late for daffs and tulips now, dear. Where's your garden? Bleeding Antarctic? Dear, they've all finished weeks ago. Tulips and daffodils, dear. I'm gonna plant a load of daffs and tulips come September because I have about 2 daffs coming up now. All the rest come up, just the leaves. No bulb. They must go after a few years. I think you have to replace them, maybe. Good evening to Amelia Phillips. She's been here since 8 o'clock. She's just had her dinner. Good evening, Amelia. Hope you're well, Amelia. Nice to see you, darling. All right, so that's the oven saga. I'm hoping is now complete. I will give you a further report as we try out the timer every now and again. I don't think I'm using the timer tomorrow. I don't think. What am I having to dinner tomorrow? I'm not quite sure yet. Don't know. I might have sausages. Oh, if I have sausages, I might. Yeah, I'll actually no. I'll make sure I put stuff in the oven. I will put stuff in the oven just to test the timer out. Good idea, eh? 0208 144 3477. I watched a film last couple of nights. I started it last night and I finished it this afternoon with my dinner. Have you seen it yet? It's now on Netflix. The film is Rocketman. I love it, Rocketman. And it's the story of Elton John. And when he was a little boy. And there's a little... Obviously, I'm not Elton John and I don't play the piano good enough to do a concert or anything like that. I play by ear. And I can get away. I can't play anything. But generally, if I hear something, I can sort of make something out of it. My most recent thing I learnt myself was Peaches, Justin Bieber. I can do that now on the piano and church organ. And It's a Sin. I taught myself that. That was really easy. Sometimes I find them really easy to play. Okay. Other times I struggle a little bit. Just depends what key it's in and that sort of thing. I can't play in any key. I generally play in the easy keys. Any person who plays a keyboard, C major, C, G, F. I can deal with one flat or a couple of sharps. Anything that sort of, what's G? Is that four sharps? There's one with four sharps. Any more than one flat I have trouble with. Or four or three sharps. I have trouble with that. So generally C, and I can hear the tune and downgrade it or upgrade it depending on where the key is. It's a Sin, as I say. I've just learnt that one, which I'd love to play in church. I don't think that one will go down too well. If they recognise it, if the priest recognises that one, I don't think he's going to be too happy with that one. It's a Sin. La da 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 da. That's really easy to play, that one. As indeed is Peaches, Justin Bieber. I'll get away with Peaches. But watching the Elton John thing, and the first time you see him playing the piano, he's got some sort of, I think his mum or dad's got some sort of classical piece of music on the radio, and he listens to it and turns the radio off and then plays that piece of music. But he plays it perfectly as it was on the thing, and I think it was his nan saw him playing. She's like stopped with her mouth open like that. He's literally just heard it. And then he plays it. And that's similar to what I do. I hear it and then I play it. And it goes on to tell you all about his life, his drug addiction, drugs and drink addiction, and how he meets this bloke who's pretends to really like him, and he becomes his like financial manager type thing, and then he kind of does him over and starts going with other people behind his back and indeed in front of him, and all that. And it's a really good film. It's a really good film. So if you haven't seen it yet, highly recommended. A little bit of a long one, just over 2 hours, about 2 hours and 5 minutes, I think that one. That one is now on Netflix, and it's called Rocketman. Rocketman, da, 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 da. And lots of the songs are in it. And right at the very end, you do see pictures of the real Elton John and little bits of writing about his life and all that. So has anyone else seen that film yet? It's very, very good. Rocketman on Netflix. Evening to George Bonds. Good evening, George. Welcome to our little show, George. Good news for breakfast television lovers. Bill Turnbull's back. Oh, how nice to see him. He's looking a lot older now, and of course he is, from his old BBC breakfast days. But it's really weird, actually, to see him and Susanna together on the other side. They did it last year as well. I think he made a brief appearance for a couple of days last year as well. But they just have the chemistry together there. He sits there, taking it all in. The only thing with Bill Turnbull, a bit like myself, he's really strict with his timings. Okay? To him, 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. It's not 2 minutes past 8. It's not 2 minutes to 8. 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. And he was getting quite aerated this morning when Susanna's chatting away and she's gone past 8 o'clock. He said, it's 8 o'clock and we've got to do this now. But ITV are very loose with the timings, which, I don't know, for a breakfast show to me seems a little bit wrong. I think that you should stick, because people are going to work and what have you at that time of the morning. Yeah, I know they've all got clocks and this, that and the other, but, maybe you're watching a news story on there and you're due to leave at 8 and the news story's going on a bit longer and you're interested in it. It's going to make you sit there and watch it and then maybe miss your train or your bus or be late in the car or something like that, isn't it? But it is lovely to see him and her together back, and he's fighting, I think it's prostate cancer at the moment, and he's been fighting it for some time now. He's on all sorts of experimental drugs and all that. But, what a top man that he carries on. And I think if you've got something wrong, whatever that is, it's important to try and carry on with what you normally do. I think that's a great help. If you just, obviously there are times when I suppose you can't carry on and you do end up in bed because you just can't get up. But push yourselves to carry on doing what you would normally do. Because I think sometimes if you just give up and you fall into bed, well, then it's the big bye-bye, I'm afraid, I think, really. So good on him for carrying on. It's in the Sun this morning. It says Bill Turnbull kicked off his Good Morning Britain return with an X-rated joke. Naughty Bill. He's got a bit of a naughtiness in him, hasn't he? His co-host Susanna Reid was left stunned as the cheeky presenter suggested they have a go on the studio floor. Does anyone like to have a go on my studio floor? He said he's 65 years old. He's great. He's like old school. You know, he's like your uncle watching your uncle on the telly, or your dad. It's great to see him. He's 65. He's fronting the show alongside Susanna Reid for a couple of days. He began today's show by revealing he'd only had 4 hours sleep after an Uber Eats delivery showed up after an hour and 55 minutes. Does he do the old Uber Eats? Do you do that? Do you do the Uber Eats? Can't get it everywhere. Up where my sister lives, they haven't got anything up there, Uber Eats. On the other hand, there's only there's only a pizza shop. What's she got there? Pizza shop, fish and chip shop. There's a Chinese. Actually, yeah, there's an Italian. Is there a curry house? Oh, she's got a few places up there, and a co-op, I suppose. But no one, I don't think you can go and do an Uber Eats or a Deliveroo up there. You know, maybe I think I mentioned that before, there could be a little business there for someone. You know, you register yourself as the Uber Eats, and then you would be the one doing all the deliveries. You'd get quite a lot of work like that, I suppose, couldn't you? You know. He says, I was eating 20 minutes after I should have, so I'm in a really good mood, he said sarcastically. Always on the first night back on and early. I never sleep properly anyway. I got up early and did my yoga. Can anyone do yoga? Anyone do yoga? What's that? It's sitting there like that, isn't it? You know, in the lotus position. Can you do the lotus position? Lotus position? Is that where they cross their legs? I don't know if I can do that or not. Cross the legs like that. I don't even know if I can cross my legs anymore, actually. Can I do it on this chair? I must be able to cross my legs, can I? Oh, yeah, I can. Look, I'll cross my legs. That's not the lotus. Hello, can you still hear me? That's not the lotus position. You've got to put your legs on top of your feet on your legs. Well, I can only do one. Probably due to all this. Another 3 bars left, I'm pleased to say. The old lotus position. He says that we can have a go later, Susanna. There's room here in the studio. Adrian says I do yogurt quite often. No, not yogurt, dear. Yoga. 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 I'm not so sure I should be doing the yoga. So he's on again tomorrow morning with Susanna Reid from 6 o'clock in the morning. Great. Great to see him back. 0208 144 3477. Have you tried getting an appointment for the dentist lately? When's the last time you tried that? Now, I have just seen a dentist a couple of weeks ago. Took 2 months. Took 2 months, which I thought was a long time. I thought 2 months was a long time. But actually, not according to this. Adam the plumber, whose birthday it was yesterday. Happy birthday yesterday, Adam. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Adam. Happy birthday to you. It was his birthday yesterday, weren't it? His other half took him out to see a show up in London and a dinner as well. Where did you go for dinner? I don't know if Adam's with us tonight. I think he's going to be watching on catch up. But he sent in this story, which is in one of the newspapers. Which one is this? Oh, The Guardian. Oh, I don't like The Guardian. Is there another version of it somewhere? Let's have a look. BBC. Okay, we're a bit better with the BBC rather than The Guardian. Let's just delete that Guardian newspaper crap, dear. Them and their bullshit they come out with. Patients have been asked to wait 3 years for a dentist appointment. 3 years! Christ, what if you've got a toothache? What if you've got a toothache? That's the question. You'll be pulling your ears out, wouldn't you? Daniel's on the line. Good evening, Daniel.
Good evening, Chris. Can you, hang on, I can't actually hear you. Hold on.
Oh, how strange and mysterious
I've done
that
something
is.
wrong here. Disable that. Speak. Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
There. Now I've got you. You. So, what do you want me to talk about tonight? Wedding, shedding at the wedding.
I don't mind anything you want, dear. I'm not here to
Well,
tell you what to say.
First of all, can I just? I don't normally like to have to do this, but can I just make a little complaint? It's not just. It's a lot of people.
Oh, complaints department. Did you want me to put you through to the complaints department? It's a big red button over there. Is that your mother speak? Hello, Mum.
Yes.
What's her name, by the way?
Marion Woodhouse.
Oh, lovely. I've got an auntie, Marion. Hello, Marion. All right, my love?
Hello, Chris.
Nice to have you here, darling. If I ever get a game show on the telly, I want you on it, Marion. Hey?
She says she always watches the show when I'm here.
I know she does. If you have any trouble with him, Marion, you do hit him, don't you, darling?
Oh, yeah, I'll give him a little dig down again.
Yeah, I don't want any of this blooming, no, you've got to sit them down and explain it. No, just give him a slap round the head. That's the best thing to do. Well, he looks like he's had a few slaps round the head, to be honest. Anyway, carry on, Daniel.
Yeah, I just want to, because you said it this morning, and some other people have been saying that. They go on to me like I'm some crazed train spotter Anunnaki geek, and I just want to refute the rumour. I am definitely not one of them.
Yes, you
never,
are.
Ever have I
yes,
done
you
that
are.
sort of thing. No, I never ever have I ever had a yellow anorak. I've never had any books with numbers in them. It's just, anything to do with the train. It's just part of my life, really.
You don't need a yellow anorak, dear.
No, thank God
you
for
come
that,
on here and go on and on about these bleating trains, dear. That's an anorak.
This has been part of my life for 40-odd years.
Well, therefore, you're a train enthusiast, aren't you, dear?
No.
Yes, you are.
I prefer to just be called a bloke.
No, you're a train enthusiast.
No.
Every time you ring up, you start going on about trains. You've even done it tonight. Not only just like trains, where I would say, yeah, there's a lovely green train. You can actually give me the bleeding model number and when it was built.
Well, it's easy to tell. I don't even have to tell you. You can tell for yourself. It's easy. All you do, when the train comes in, you look at the front and you'll find about a six-figure number.
Right.
First three numbers is the class number. It's trades type class number. And the last three digits are its actual unit number. So that's why, like, down here on my mum's C2C line, so they'll be mostly class 357. So it might be unit 22. Easy to tell.
Sorry?
Oh, all right, never mind.
So you're doing it now? Going on about bleeding train numbers? We don't know train numbers.
And I was just trying to do it in the briefest way possible. But, on the other hand...
I think you go to platforms with a raincoat on and a little notepad and write down these numbers as they come. Yes, you do. I know you do, mate.
I've never been like that.
You sit there with your bar of Galaxy and your little flask of tea, don't you?
At least you can say that, Chris.
Huh?
I don't mind you saying that.
Training.
I could share a laugh with you.
In future, when you call in, you will be known. And let's speak to train enthusiast Daniel Woodhouse. I think I'm going to rename your name on my text thing to train enthusiast Daniel Woodhouse. You're right, dear. You coughing? Have you swallowed something?
Well, no, I've been having a lot of trouble in the morning since I've had the injection.
Oh, right.
I've been getting up and I've nearly been... It's like a strange feeling of thinking that I'm going to be sick, but it not actually happening.
Oh.
Or if I do, it's still a like...
I don't like it. I haven't been sick for years. I think I was about 22 when I was last sick. True. Okay. Hate it.
Yeah. But anyway, the main subject point tonight...
when you're being sick, that's your body ejaculating the unwanted contents of your stomach, isn't it?
Yes, hopefully through the right end.
Yes. Oh. Continue, train enthusiast Daniel Woodhouse.
All right.
Is this going to be a long call?
Well, no, because you set the main part of the gender agenda tonight.
We're not
which
talking
was
gender.
weddings.
Please don't start going on about gender. I've had enough of that on the bleeding telly, dear. Moaning
my
that this, that, and the other all the time about their bleeding gender and double toilets and what have you.
Yeah, but anyway, weddings. Do you want a funny wedding story?
Yeah. I mean, on the subject, oh yes, please do. On the subject of toilets, I don't want to be sharing my toilets with women. Only men, as many as possible, all at the same time. I'd be very happy. Continue.
Well, to be honest, I preferably don't want to share my toilet with anybody. Actually,
no, I don't think we'd like
when
to
I
see
go
it.
to the toilet, that is my personal.
It's
time.
all right, Dan. Dan, you've got no worries. No one is going to follow you into a toilet.
Oh, thank God.
Carry on.
Anyway, wedding story. There was a wedding I think it was about 1989, 90, something like that, where there was me, Mum, Auntie Shirley and Uncle Bob. He was driving us there. And it was somewhere around Suffolk. And we got the invitational. And they put a map in there as well, saying the church is near the Pink Cottages. Well,
It said, look out.
oh, look out for the Pink Cottages.
Right.
So we're going through it, and there was loads of Pink Cottages everywhere, and we went round and round this roundabout about half a dozen times. Still not getting, and eventually we thought, oh, we've had enough of it. Oh, look, there's a church, and it's near some Pink Cottages. Oh, it must be that one. So let's go in then. And of course, we've got in there a bit late. Everyone's there. We walked past the video cameraman behind us. So there's him with the video camera. We're on the wedding video. We've got in this church, looked around. My mum's laughing. She knows what's coming. We got in this church, looked around, and we thought, hang on, do we know any of this lot? No, I've never seen him before. I don't know who she is. And then I think Mum nudged one of the people there. Just said and asked probably the most daftest question you could ask at a wedding.
Whose wedding is it?
Whose wedding is this? Yeah. And she went and she said something. And she said, oh, we don't know them. We must be at the wrong church. So Mum's quickly grabbed hold of me. Said, Daniel, come on, we're out of here. Just get out. So we walked past the video cameraman again, and so to be honest, when you say wedding, that's the first thing I think of. I'd love to see that wedding video of theirs. If only I knew who they were.
You didn't bump into the bride on the way out, did you?
No, they were up the other end.
Oh, thank God for that.
We found it when we got to the wedding.
And then we got to the real wedding. Yes, we got loads of stick from all the rest of them.
Family.
Yeah, going, what, you bleeding late and all that, and then what, you got the wrong church? Where did you bleed and do that? Oh, I know what,
Oh, how funny is that?
Yes.
Did you make it to the other wedding then, or what?
Oh, yes, we got to the other one, the
there.
real wedding eventually. But
it hadn't finished yet then.
And, well, we were late, we walked in there, they all started tapping their arms with their watches going...
Oh, did they? Yeah, that old one. They do that on New Year's Eves. Because, of course, everyone... You do when you're DJing or something like that on a New Year's Eve... Of course, when it gets near to 12 o'clock, they're all up there. They start tapping their watches because everyone has got the correct time. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I set my clock to Tim earlier on. I set my clock to the BBC and all this. They come up and start telling you the time. And like, just go away. Go away.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think in all my years I've never had a true... proper New Year's Eve party.
Have you not? Oh.
No, I don't think I ever have. And
oh.
I think they're probably all let down by some crap rendition of Auld Lang Syne. There's a lot of them. I mean, is there one of them? Who is it?
Yes. There is a dance version which I don't like. I do have a version of Old Lang. Actually, it was me and Shania played it. Were you with us New Year's Eve this year?
Yes, that one, yeah.
Yes. Which we kind of... I mean, the idea came into my head pretty late. It was pretty late. I think I can't remember when Shania sent it over, actually. It might have been... Was it the day before or that day? Can't remember anyway. And I put it together. It's something that I'd never done before, and I think it worked out all right. But when I was DJing, I would look for a pretty traditional New Year's Eve version to play. In actual fact, I've said to the boss at Central Stuff, I stopped doing New Year's Eve some years ago. However, I have offered to do the next New Year's Eve coming up, because I'd quite like to do it again, you know. I don't know why. It's nothing to do with being paid or anything like that. I'd just quite like to do another New Year's Eve, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's not anything to do with like passing the virus away, you know, that it's like if it has ended by then.
Oh, no, it's not gone away. That won't go away. That'll be with us for always now. It just depends whether we can keep it under control or not.
Yeah.
I think.
What you think with all the social distancing and your
very important. Yes, there was actually one person in particular. I had to keep telling him to sit down. But apart from that, certainly Friday night at the karaoke was pretty good. Those people, there were people that weren't social distance, but they were in the same group, if you see what I mean. The tables themselves, I think, were fairly correctly placed, and I don't know if you saw the karaoke stream, but the microphone...
Oh, what, you did do it?
Yes, it happened, yes.
The karaoke stream? I asked you for that on Facebook, and
Well, look at the wall. Have a look at the wall. It's there. Anything I do is on the wall. You don't need to ask me questions. Just have a look at the wall.
It was actually on your Facebook.
Yes, it'd be on the Facebook wall.
Oh, I was thinking you was going to do it on YouTube.
It was on YouTube. It's not on this channel, though.
What, is it called Karaoke
The
London?
karaoke channel.
I was looking at that channel.
Yeah, well, you missed it somehow.
How have they
Loads
not?
of other people were there. I mean, over 100 people saw that one. Yeah, there was quite a few there on Friday night, and it worked pretty well. And in between every single singer, I've got a couple of J cloths there, a bottle of Dettol. You know, because I believe when it comes to something like that, I want to buy a brand name that I know has got a really good name. So I've got a bottle of spray Dettol, and in between every singer, I sprayed the cloth well, give the microphone a good wipe down, right from the top, all the way down the stand and all that, if I'd noticed they were holding it, and then on to the next one. They were actually very good quality microphones, radio mics. And actually, this week, we'll go back to the lead mics because we simply don't need the radio mics at the moment because no one's allowed to run around. Do you see? That you've got to be behind a piece of plastic at the moment.
Yeah.
You didn't see it on the live stream, but the plastic was marked. And they kept trying to clean this marking off. It looked like it was covered in some sort of dust. You know, and like where it looked like someone had tried to clean it. And this bit of plastic was marked, and they couldn't get this mark off it. Fortunately, where the camera was behind the plastic, like in direct view of the singer, so you didn't look through the plastic. So it looked okay to you, but to the people out there, and it was a bit of thing. And that, of course, we've got some lovely new lights in there, which I had trouble working, but I got them going eventually. And they do reflect a little bit back off the plastic, which of course is going to happen, isn't it? But not a lot we can do about that, really.
Yeah. I've actually realised that. I actually thought all your cleaning equipment, that cleaning stuff, that could actually be a new band. I thought all these bands, they always call someone called, there's either Jay-Z, Jay, or Jay this, Jay that. I thought it'd be a new band called Razzle Dazzle and the J Cloths.
The Young Dettles. The Young Dettles we could call it, couldn't we?
Yes.
Anyway, it should be back on again Friday night, sometime after 7:30, all right?
Yes, well, I'll have a look. I'm not promising anything I'd get down there, but could be a bit worrying for some.
I think obviously I'm not in it, but the chat box is busy as well for people chatting away to each other in it as well while that's on. All right, so you'll have someone to talk to.
Okay.
All right, Dan, thanks for calling in.
Yes, okay, Chris.
Cheerio.
Thank you very much.
Bye
See
now.
you then.
Bye, Dan. Bye. Talking of shows and things like that, gang, we're going to change the days next week of our shows. The reason is, of course, the karaoke is now on Friday, which only gives us Monday and Wednesday to do a show, really, at the moment. Now, I can throw another one in, but it's like, where would it go? Like Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Doesn't quite work, does it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? No. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday? That don't sound right. So I'm going to pull everything back a day, and from Sunday next week, we're going to be Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Okay? So from Sunday, our shows will be on Sunday night, 8 o'clock, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, and Thursday night, 8 o'clock. So that's from this next week. So this is the last Monday night one. Okay? It kind of makes sense, I think, to do it like that. So we got sort of reasonably spaced 1, 2, 3 like that. Can't be every night. I haven't got time to do one every night. Okie doke. Anyone else want to call in tonight? 020-8144 3477. If you're in a chat box for some reason, I'm not in a chat box. I'm not in the chat box, and I don't read the comments on Facebook either. If you want to send us a message, please use the text number at the top there. If you've never sent a text before, please put your name there as well, so I know who I'm talking to. Perhaps your full name or your name and where you are, like, I don't know, Brenda in Watford, something like that, and then I can add you on. Once you've sent your name once, you don't need to do it again because you'll be in the system then. All right, my darlings. There's Maureen. Good evening, Maureen. She says, great film, Rocketman. Did you watch the last Game of Talent show? The series has ended now. No, not yet, Maureen. I've got that one to watch. I've only watched about 4 of them so far, so I've got a few more to watch there, Maureen. But it was you and Danny who mentioned Game of Thrones, wasn't it? Game of Talents, which I like very much. Thank you very much. Hello to Andy. Andy, good evening, Andy. Good to see you. Brilliant karaoke the other night. Andy was watching it, you see. Had my second injection today. Feel like a truck hit me. Or you've got a bit of pain and suffering there going on. Pain and suffering. Pain and suffering. That's what we want. Hang on. Pain and suffering, dear. Like a bit of pain and suffering, don't you, my love? Paul says, have you seen the ident and theme tune from the coming GB News? Yes, I have. And now, I believe Ray Reynolds told me this is the brand new news station, gang, which will be starting, I think it's at the weekend. If I remember rightly, Ray Reynolds sent me a little message. Let me see if I can find that for you. And it's sort of they're calling it the Fox News. It's our version of Fox News. I can't see it being like that, simply because Ofcom wouldn't allow something like that. I don't think they'd allow something like that. So I'm not quite sure exactly what it will be like. All right. Here we are, Ray Reynolds. Here we go. Hi, Chris. Just to let you know, GB News starts next weekend. And the test card is now both on Freeview, which I've seen 236, and FreeSat, channel 216. I couldn't find the FreeSat holding card, so to speak. But yes, it's a brand new news channel. So we got the BBC News and we got Sky News. They're the only two that we've really got in this country. We did for a short period of time have ITV News, didn't we? But I gather it was too expensive for them. ITV is not what it was. I always find it very sad what happened to ITV, the demise of ITV, really, and all those little companies joining up to make one big, faceless organisation, chucking out crap television all the time. But there you go. So it will be nice to have another news channel, and that is GB News. And according to Ray Reynolds, it's starting on Saturday at on where is it? Saturday. On Saturday. Okay, I've just had a load of texts come through, so I'll read those. The texts have been a little bit slow coming through recently. I don't know why that is. Let's have a look. Hello to Rachel Wheatland. Good evening, Rachel. Hello to you, Rachel. That says 2118, so I don't know. Good evening to Mick Davenport. Evening, Mick. Who says, I was greedy. I've been married twice. Now, I must just tell you, Mick, can you tell me when you sent that through? That literally has just popped up on my screen now. The texts are coming in a little bit slowly recently. I noticed that. Fran Green in the house. Hello, lovely Fran. Hope you're well. Fran says that Elton John could sing in the Eurovision and we still wouldn't win. You're absolutely right, Fran. You're absolutely right. It makes no difference. We've had Engelbert Humperdinck, for Christ's sake. He didn't win. We've had Blue. They were really low down as well. It makes no difference who sings it. No difference at all. And Fran goes on to say, sad we shouldn't enter again. It's been too political for years. I don't like the winner. No, I didn't like the winner. Not my cup of tea. And again, Fran, that text has just come through now, so I don't know what time you sent that, my love. Hello to Rumble Bumble. Rumble Bumble says, evening, Chris. Just got in from a long day stripping. And again, this text has just come through to me now, Rumble Bumble. All right. He says, I used to do yoga with my neighbour until her husband came home early and she was practising the reverse cowgirl. I have since taken up running. God. Hey, Mick, now I've got that one. He sent that message in at 8:10. It literally has just come in. That's odd, isn't it? I wonder if it's a particular network because Martin, actually, who was at the karaoke on Friday, he sent a message, and about an hour later he came up and says, oh, I haven't got... Did you get my text? I'm like, no. What was it for? No. And anyway, he came on and sung, and like 10 minutes later his text came through. So sometimes they can be a little bit late coming through. It's nothing I'm doing here. You're not getting ignored. They just do take a little while to come through. That's only just started happening, actually, that has, isn't it? Who's this now? Raphael, would you be interested in reaching out to the attendees of the 74th Annual Cantors Assembly International Virtual Convention? What the hell's that? No. I wonder what that is. I have no idea what that is at all. So there we are. That's all. If you've sent a text in, okay, they're all the texts that I've got so far. There's nothing waiting now to be read out. So hopefully I've got it's all your bits and pieces. 020-8144-3477 if you'd like to give us a call tonight. There's a shortage. Very important for ice cream lovers. There's a shortage. You're not going to be happy. Great nephew Harry, great nephew James, great nephew George, great niece Evie, great niece Olivia, great niece Emily will not be happy. There is a flake shortage. Flake! In the sun, the nation's favourite ice cream topping could be missing on cones up and down the country as the UK suffers a chocolate flake shortage. It's okay, we'll just break some of this up. Stick bits of this in there, I reckon. Am I sitting quite low down tonight? I feel like I'm sitting quite low down, but I need a little cushion under it. I'm only short. Cadbury's confirmed to The Sun that the supply has failed to keep up with a boom in demand for the crumbly treat across the country and Ireland too. The miserable weather this May hasn't put off British people off ordering Cadbury's 99p flakes to top off their ice cream. Are you a fan of those? They are usually served on top of Mr. Whippy flavoured ice creams, dished out by the ice cream trucks parked along beachfronts or on neighbourhood pavements. But the chocolate staple is at risk from disappearing from shops, fans and ice cream parlours completely until mid-June. This is terrible, as reported by the Irish Times. Top of the morning to you. Paddy O'Donnell. His Clarmac business, which supplied flakes to ice cream companies across Ireland, told the Irish Times that half his supply has gone already. We're going to starve to death. No flakes. Oh, well, it's not too bad, is it? Do you like a flake on an ice cream? Is that your sort of thing? Do you like a flake? Want to text in the show? Use the text number at the top there. I'm not in any chat box or comment section. You won't get a message to me like that. Please use the text. Okay, 07451 287 337. It may be that we just got a lot of text coming through at the same time, and perhaps that's why. Rumble Bumble says, mutty comments. What mutty comments have we got? Adrian, can you put the show on hold? I'm just going to Waitrose to go and get my flakes before they run out. This is an urgent matter. I won't be half an hour. We could just sit here for half an hour. What do you want to do? I could put the clock up if you want. Just sit here and we can look at the clock for half an hour while you're down Waitrose. Eh? What time does your Waitrose close then? Are they 10 o'clocks, Waitrose? I know Aldi and Lidl are 10 o'clock round here. I usually go shopping around about 9:30 at night, do my shopping then. Don't forget, from Sunday, we're moving our shows. There'll be a show this Wednesday, okay? So Wednesday, then Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, okay? So next show will be Wednesday, then Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night here on United Kingdom Talk. What else we got here? A new pizza for you to try. Now, I don't know about this one. I don't eat dead animals, but I mean, there would be an alternative for us vegetarians, us animal-loving vegetarians. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to put my stool up a bit. Is it that? No, I feel a bit low down today. I feel like I'm on my knees. In the sun again, Pizza Hut have launched a new pizza. Now, are you going to go for this one is the question. What's your favourite pizza? And pineapple on pizza, is that okay? I love pineapple. My favourite pizza, I love a vegetarian with pineapple on the top. Cheese, tomato, hopefully with barbecue sauce. Some chopped up peppers, some chopped up onions, some sweet corn, and pineapple on the pizza. Pineapple. Pizza Hut has launched a new Sunday roast flavoured pizza, which includes beef, stuffing and sliced roast potatoes as toppings. Is that going to be for you, I wonder? The pizza costs £13.99. That's a lot, isn't it, for a pizza? I get a posh pizza from the blooming Co-op for £5. Well, you can get the same one from Lidl, as you know, £3.29. And Aldi, £3.29 for the posh pizzas. Really nice. Well, this pizza, it's £13.99, part of a new range, inspired by dishes from all over the world. So a roast dinner pizza. As well as the classic roast trimmings found on the pizza, the new pizza also has a red wine gravy base. Would you be interested in trying something like this, I wonder? You'll be able to pick up the pizza in a variety of sizes, from small to large, as well as a whole host of crust options too, like stuffed or classic. Do you like the stuffed crust, or I find it a little bit too much? I quite like the chewy cheese, though. You get in the crust. It's quite nice. The pizza is part of the chain's new staycation or vacation-inspired delivery menu, bringing a taste of the Mediterranean and a new twist on the great British classic. She says, we wanted to offer something for all occasions by showcasing the best of British as well as offering a taste of abroad. So I don't know. They've got some other ones there. They've got a Spanish, as well as the roast dinner pizza. They've got a Spanish-style chicken and... is it chorizo pizza? Chorizo. What's that, chorizo? Is that like a spice? I don't know what that is. Chicken and chorizo pizza. Italian-style cheese and tomato bites. And for pudding, new Ben & Jerry's salted caramel cookie dough chunks. Just $5.99. Well, they sound nice. Would you try this pizza? Roast dinner pizza. I can see the appeal. I tell you what, the problem for me, forget I'm vegetarian and all that. The problem for me is not so much the roast beef. Potatoes on pizza. I don't know about that. Roast potatoes in pizza. Don't know about that. It says, Pizza Hut say, we hope the new pizzas, side and dessert, offer something for everyone, and that customers get to try our oh, that noise in my head now. It's got loud. To try our incredible new roast dinner pizza offering. The new menu is available for more than 700 Pizza Hut delivery locations, but not for dine-in at the chain's restaurants for that. You can't, as I say with all restaurants, isn't it? You can't eat in at the moment. I mean, I think there's a difference in going somewhere like Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I think there's a big difference between going in there and eating and going in like a hotel or a posh restaurant. Very, very different. I think you mix a lot more. You're in more of contact with other people when you're in the fast food venues. So, would you be happy to try something like that, perhaps? It's Ross Patel. Good evening, Ross. Good evening, Ross. I was going to send you a message later. I'll send you a little message on the Facebook later. I've got a little idea in my head. Ross says, pizza for me is sweet chili chicken all the way. Love it. We make our own pizza sometimes too. Tesco's do 2 sourdough bases. Then we make loads of topping. Then we put loads of toppings on top. Best taste ever. Fresh made. I've done that, Ross. But the first time I did it, I made a huge mistake and I used cheddar cheese. I mean, it all looked very nice. I had and it was huge. This pizza was enormous. So I've got for one person. I've rolled out the base and I've got this cheddar cheese, which I sprinkled on a lot, quite a lot. And then some sliced, but I put it in the oven, took it out. It was absolutely vile. Wrong cheese. Wrong cheese. It was absolutely vile. The second time I did it, I bought mozzarella cheese and it was delicious. You're absolutely right, Ross. Do you know, I'm tempted now to do that this week. I think I'll do that this week. Homemade pizza. Get the base. I'm sure they do it now, don't they? Or a little. Get the base. And then I'll just chop up peppers and so fresh. So fresh. Oh, you've got my mouth watering now. And Ross says, chorizo is pronounced chorizo. Chorizo. So Spanish sliced sausage. Oh, no, we're not having dead animals, dear. Is that what it is? Spanish sliced sausage, which Ross likes as well. Thank you, Ross. Fran says she sent 4 texts. Oh. One says evening. Okay, yeah, I got that one. The other says about teeth whitening. No, that's not there. No teeth whitening text from you at all. Eurovision, which we've done. Orange Yorkie bar. Haven't got that one either. Haven't got the orange Yorkie bar one either, Fran. I wonder if it's... I don't know why. I mean, I got your first one, good evening, and the second one. I wonder if it's because I'm not... Maybe you have to wait until I've clicked red sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Vera. Mine is cheese, tomatoes, pineapples and onions with extra cheese on my pizza. That'll do me, Vera. I think you and I are... What about a nice chopped up ear on pizza? Vera, ears on pizza. I've got an ear fetish. My sister will tell you that. I've always had that. I like to pinch people's ears or nibble them. Some people could class that as an assault. What would the judge say? Is this right, Mr. Reardon? You came up behind the person known as Vera and nibbled her ear without permission. How funny. Andy says that you've sold me on the pizza, Chris. I would definitely try that. Have you tried Yorkshire pudding wraps? They're lovely too. Is that where you put something in the middle of the Yorkshire pudding? What did I have? I think I used to have roast beef in Yorkshire pudding. Now, I remember that being quite nice. Is it like that? Something like that? Ollie says that I'm just back. Went back for a chat with Danny, Spargy, Swish, JK and Ricky Bourne via Skype for his show. Welcome back, Ollie. Jason's in the house. Good evening, Jason. He's been here since 8 o'clock this evening, as you always are, Jason. He's there in the morning, just like Diane Jebb and some others of you. There in the morning, there in the evening, without fail. Top people. Have I got to... Let's see if I've got something in here. No, I haven't. Okay, I was just looking around for something then. Anyone else want to call in before we close the lines? 020 8144 3477. Anything you want to talk about at all, okay? They've got another dangerous TikTok trend. Now, I don't know if you're a fan of TikTok. Of course, Rachel Wheatland, she does her own TikToks. They tend to be something to do with the occult. witches or wizards or something like that. Rachel's lovely TikToks, and I am a fan of TikTok. I spend hours. In fact, I got the old. You get that report on your iPhones, screen time this week, where it's way up this 6.5 hours a day, according to that. So you don't think it, do you? Every time you pick up your phone and you're on there, and you have doing stuff like this, and then before you know, here it is, weekly report. You averaged 6 hours 11 minutes of screen time last week. It's ludicrous. Such a waste of time looking at a mobile phone. I'm totally addicted. Well, they often have these. They're trends, TikTok trends, okay, where someone does something and other people do the same thing, and there can be some really dangerous ones on there. There's a new one now, and in the Daily Mail it says a mother has issued a stark warning about the dangers of a deadly new TikTok trend after her son was left fighting for his life after swallowing magnets. Now, why would you swallow a magnet, for God's sake? Swallowing magnets. This boy's only 11 years old, from Worcester. He's endured 2 emergency surgeries and is in critical condition after swallowing 5 magnetic balls while attempting a TikTok trend. Now, poor boy. The viral challenge sees people pretending they have pierced their tongue by placing 2 magnetic balls on either side of their tongue. Now, you've seen that. We've seen that, haven't we? When I thought, oh, well, what am I doing here? Silly sod. Here we go. When they got that spike. Oh, dear. I mean, the pain people go through to body modification, isn't it? Body modification. And they get these spike things and put it and then a little ball either side. Why anyone would want one of those in their mouths, I do not know. I mean, you can imagine all the clicking going on every time it touches. It's got to be damaging people's teeth as well, isn't it? Well, what they've been doing on TikTok is instead of having that done, they put a ball on the top, and I don't know how they balance the other one on there. But this little boy swallowed it. He swallowed the metal balls. 11 years old. He's endured 2 emergency surgeries and is in critical condition after swallowing 5 magnetic balls while attempting a TikTok trend. Now, I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything like that, I know. But why hasn't this passed through? Is there... I don't want to be too like sweet corn, okay? You don't chew it properly, you know what happens, don't you? So I don't quite know why it hasn't gone through. Usually... Isn't that the case? If you swallow something and it's not like... batteries. They're No, magnets. I mean, if it was batteries, that's more serious because that can leak out. But if it's just basically a piece of metal, why has that not gone through, I wonder? It says the viral challenge sees people pretending they have pierced their tongues by placing 2 magnetic balls on either sides of the tongue. Well, I don't quite know how you do that. I mean, maybe you can balance that one on there. How do you get... I don't know. I haven't got anything here to try it with. Mind you, I'd be very foolish to do something like that. This little boy swallowed the magnetic balls and was unwell for a week before he was rushed into surgery on Wednesday as doctors thought he had a burst appendix, which I've had one of those. Not a pleasant experience. His doctors were shocked to discover that his appendix was fine and that the real cause of the problems were the magnets, one of which was attached to their operating tools while they probed the cause of his pain. Oh. It must have been the fact that there were magnets then, I suppose. It remains clear how Ellis managed to swallow the magnetic balls, as his family claim they do not have any in the house and the schoolboy does not have TikTok. The youngster was rushed into surgery at Birmingham Children's Hospital on Friday to have 3 of the magnet balls removed. Jesus. Well, I mean, he's all right now. TikTok craze, it could have killed him if left any longer. Please talk to your children and tell them how dangerous these are. That's terrible, isn't it? Magnetic beads. According to the story, it damaged his bowel. I you know, I the way I understood stuff like that is that it goes through you if you swallow something you're not supposed to have, as long as it's not like I mean, these idiots, they swallow drugs, don't they, in like plastic bags and condoms, and they burst inside them, you know. But something like a solid thing, like a piece of perhaps plastic or metal, as in the case there, or maybe the metal, the magnets reacted with your acid in the stomach. I don't know. Terrible, isn't it? Anyway, at least that little boy's all right. It's the trouble, isn't it, when you're little boys and little girls, they do things that are so dangerous and they don't realise, you know. How many times have we seen a story about little boy or little girl, you know, and there's a saucepan of water on the stove and they grab the handle. Oh, don't. It sends shivers up my back. I hate to see children in pain, don't you? When I see it on news, I get really upset. Children in pain on the telly, whether it's someone who's had a car accident or a starving child in one of the very poor countries. Does my head in, that does. Vera says, leave my ears alone. Oh, yes, Vera. I'd like to see one or two of your ears chopped up on a pizza. I think I would have to stop being a vegetarian for a moment there while I ate your ears, Vera. I'd like to nibble away on Vera's ears. Ollie might be calling in later. He's just going to get a drink, all right, Ollie? Going to call in. I hope you're not doing stupid things like this, Ollie. He's 13, Ollie. Paul, the picture from that side camera has lots of signal noise, has it? Oh, you worry too much, you do. Has it? Where? Oh, yeah, so it does. I think it's probably because it's not bright enough in here. Is it? I think it's probably because it's not bright enough in here. Lines are now closed. No more phone calls, gang. You run out of time. If only you'd called in earlier. Have you noticed George hasn't called in recently? I think he's in trouble again. George isn't allowed to... Oh, hang on, Ollie. Oh, I'll have to open it again. Ollie, you did say you'd call in. Number. Here you go. There you go, Ollie. 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in. The Pope's getting a new car. Yes, he is. The new Pope Mobile. And it's electric. Good on him. Because he goes on about climate change a bit, doesn't he, the old Pope? He often goes on about the environment and all that. Well, in the Daily Mail, as Pope Francis continues to focus on the environment, electric vehicle maker Fisker, have you heard of them, Fisker, promises the world's first all-electric papal transport. Very exciting for that. Here you go. That's probably Ollie now. Good morning, Ollie. Evening.
Hello.
Hello, Ollie. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I think so.
You're on all these radio shows and TV shows tonight, aren't you?
Oh, I'm about to say it was you, Chris.
What was you lot talking about on the other side?
Life, the universe and everything, I think.
The universe?
Probably.
Oh, that always sends me quite mad, that does, Ollie, because, I mean, we are just so insignificant. It's unbelievable. When you think... I always remember that being confused at science lessons at school when he said...
That's me.
You've got to think of the outer space and it just goes on forever. There is no ending. And I just...
Like,
go on.
What if you sent a rocket up and, like, it just never ran out of fuel, so how far would it get until it blew up? Because of the pressure. Like, how far could it get?
Oh, are you on Skype, Ollie?
No, I'm on the normal phone, I think.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I think your signal's coming in and out a bit. What did you say then about a rocket?
Yeah, how far could it go if it never ran out of fuel? Like, how far could it go before it, like, blew up?
Well, they just say that space never ends. So if you set a rocket off, it would just keep going. Wouldn't it?
Yeah, because, like, the pressure might get too low and it might just, like, explode.
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm not that with the physics, really.
Neither am I. I'm just trying to use the little common sense I have.
Yeah. Would that be something like you'd like to do? Say an alien came down today, right? An alien came and stopped at your house and knocked at your door. Would you like to come and see my planet? Would you go?
No.
You wouldn't go. Why not?
Because I'd be going on my own and I might get abducted by aliens and might not return.
Okay, well, you can take your dad then.
Oh, yeah, I'd definitely go. I'd leave him
Would
there.
you go? Wouldn't it be fantastic? An alien just knocking on the door. Hello, I'm from the planet Z or whatever. We've been watching your planet for some time. We want to show you our planet. Do you want to come and have a look? I'd go. I'd absolutely go. Yeah.
I'd take my dad with me so I can just leave him.
Yeah. Well, you'd leave him on the planet?
Yeah.
I don't believe that for one moment.
No, and then the aliens like kill him, and then I get his will, and then
That's a terrible thing to say.
I come up with loads of money and live a life in wherever I want to.
So you can get his insurance money. That's a terrible thing to say. I hope you'd look after your mum as well. Is she still around?
I think so. Unless she's gone walkabout.
Well, where do you want to live then? Where do you want to live? So I'm going to give you now £10 million. Where do you want to live? And what do you want to do with that money?
There's a house like near ours that's quite nice. It's got like a couple acres of land, like a couple hundred bedrooms probably, 'cause it's massive.
Yeah.
And nice gatehouse with like half-mile driveway. Like, mate, why do you want that?
Half a mile driveway?
Yeah, it's huge. It's like you go for a gate and it's like forest and everything.
Oh.
It's like a wiggly path.
Wow.
It's like space. It never ends.
Would you have an electric gate?
You'd buzz it and be like, "Hello, I'm your delivery driver. Can you let me in?"
And the gate would open. Funnily enough,
Yeah, and you'd be
great.
like, "I'll be with you in 10 minutes. Let me just get up the mile driveway. Takes me a while."
Funnily enough, great nephew Harry, when he had his birthday last week, he's 8. He was 8 last week, and he had 2 of his friends over, and we dropped one of the friends home, and we had to go through an electric gate. He had a farm. His friend's dad owns a farm, and we got to the gate. We pushed this button. Okay, we'll just let you in, and this gate slid open. And they open really slowly. It didn't open sort of, as in swing open. It opened as sliding back, and we were very impressed with that. Very impressed.
You just press a button, it just like opens. It's like open sesame, and you just go straight through.
That's right. That's
It's
exactly
like
what
the gate to
happened.
Narnia.
Oh,
You don't know if you're gonna return.
the Chronicles of Narnia. That'd be quite. Is that the one where you go in the cupboard and you're in
That's
some?
the wardrobe. You enter the wardrobe, close the door, and you don't know if you're gonna come back.
That's right. Yeah. Perhaps you
Like,
could
I'd
have
hate to do that.
Can you get something like that from Wix? Can you get Dad to put you together one of those flat pack wardrobes and you go in somewhere else and be somewhere else completely?
Yeah, trip to IKEA.
What do you think it would be like? Do you think, do you believe there are other planets that have living creatures as intelligent or more intelligent than us?
Well, technically, bacteria is a creature, and bacteria can live on a planet, so technically there is.
Yeah, and viruses, of course.
Yes.
Now,
But that,
viruses do have some sort of intelligence, because
Yeah.
we could take the coronavirus, for example, and it changes itself. It changes itself to make itself better and stronger. So it's not like it's not intelligent, is it?
no, it evolves to get round our defense of what our
Yes.
defensive work against it.
Yeah. All a bit worrying, really.
There's-
How
There's
is
like
it? How is
loads
it?
of different ones out there as well that like morph and change.
All viruses do, don't they? The flu virus and all that. Maybe
yeah.
there are planets up there, and there's just viruses living there, and we should never go there.
Maybe there's like Earth, but like not humans and animals, just viruses.
Yeah.
So like the planet virus.
Yeah. And gas
Like the forgotten territories.
gas planets as well. They could have. They could have. You see, we understand life as we have said life should be. So, I mean, blood, a heartbeat, breathing, eating, and pooing, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like our natural, like what we naturally do.
Yeah, so that's what we think is life. But there could be other life out there which is completely different to that. There might be life out there that doesn't breathe. It doesn't need
No.
to eat, but it is still life. But we can't comprehend that in our little human brains or anything like that.
And you can't see it because it's so small.
Yes.
Like, you can't see that it's there.
What about spirits? Do you believe in spirits or ghosts?
I mean, it is kind of worrying when I'm midway through a show and the music room door just opens on its own.
Does that happen, does it?
Yeah, because it's like by the conservatory, it might be like the wind or something, but
Right.
it's always really concerning. I'm just stood there,
Yeah.
like lining up a track, and it's just opening. I'm like, do you want to not?
Well, I
I
mean,
don't want my brother to come in and disturb, so if you could leave it shut, that'd be lovely. Cheers.
again, it could be other forms of life that we don't understand. We could be surrounded at this moment by other forms of life that can actually see us. We just don't know it's there.
Yeah, because we're so big and like bacteria and viruses and other bits are so small that we
Yeah.
can't see them, but they can see us.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
It's a bit like we can't see like a baby ant because it's tiny,
Yeah.
but they can see us.
Yes, they
Because-
can. Yeah,
We're bigger than them.
yeah.
Like, our vision doesn't go down to their size. But yeah,
Fascinating.
it's a weird universe, and different things can happen in different places without us
isn't
knowing.
it? It really is. Now, you've been doing your radio show on Reach on Air. When's your next one?
Wednesday the 2nd, I think.
Of June, so that's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I got my regular one starting
Okay.
the next day.
Have you managed to start talking much on the microphone yet, or what? I know your dad was going to...
Yeah, I started to get used to it,
Right.
and then my dad got released back out into mobile DJs and took the only controller that works with the mic away from me.
Oh,
So
is
now
it?
I'm mic.
He's got to get the money coming in somehow.
Yeah, I used to use like the Denon mixer, and now I've got the American Audio.
Okay.
But because we haven't used the American Audio VMS with
Yeah.
our new mic, because we've got a studio like hang down mic now,
Yeah.
it hasn't registered and like all the settings aren't right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we just need to like wipe it and reset the whole thing, and
So-
it might work.
Right. See, I'm a bit old school with my audio stuff. Most of it's analog. You know, it's got wires coming into it. I don't have to program anything. There's a few buttons to push down and up. But there was a mixer that they're raving about. Is it the Roadster?
Yeah.
And it's got lots of coloured buttons on it, all light up buttons. And I believe you basically assign buttons to what you want them to do. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, the one like my dad uses for gigs and that, he can do that because like through the software we use, you can like map different buttons on the controller to different things.
Yeah. See, I mean,
Because I've got my own little mixer set above my wardrobe,
right.
just like a bedroom toy, and I think I've got a loop set as a Q button, so like loads of different buttons, like different, so it's easier and like easy hand positions.
Right.
So I just have to move a hand and like I can start a track whilst like bringing the other fader down like with
Okay.
one hand.
Yeah. There's
So
not really
it's
any
nice and easy to like use.
there's not really any moving parts or anything like that on the. Certainly, when I was DJing, I started on records. Does your dad still play records at all, or not?
Oh yeah, we've got two massive 12-inch turntables.
Are they SL512s? Technics.
I'm not sure. I think so. Yeah.
Are they really
And then-
heavy?
We've got like quite a big set of like vinyl, 12-inch vinyl,
Yeah.
and then a few shelves, or a few like 6 foot tall shelves of 6-inch or 7, 6 or
Right.
7. Is it 6 or 7? 6-inch or 7-inch?
Oh,
7.
seven.
Yeah.
Little singles, sevens. Yeah.
Yeah, seven singles. We've got quite a bit of them,
Okay.
and some 12s.
Gosh. Is it something
And I
that
got,
you'd like to do that? Be a mobile DJ or what?
Yeah, I used to do like if we had like a Saturday evening one, like local where we used to live, and he had to set up like during the day. I'd go up with him and set up with him, and then I used to get like a treat off the back of it.
Did you?
So
What?
one time I went and sat up with them at like a tennis club. I got home after rugby on the Sunday to see 2 mini football goals in the garden and a little ball sat in the middle.
And that was your treat for going to help, was it?
Yeah, he just got me that because I went and helped.
That's decent, isn't it? You can't complain at that, mate.
Easy. It's easy work. And I used to be the one that's skipping rope for all the cables.
Right. Are you mainly a fan of dance music, or do you like all sorts?
Well, depends what I'm doing with it. So, like, the one that I did with my dad the other week on Reach, that was more of like a dancey house set.
Yes, I heard some of that. Yeah, I heard you doing your mixing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, if I'm just, like, out my papers in the morning, depends, like, because if I need to be home, like, pretty quickly,
yes.
I put on, like, dance and house, because I pedal in time with the music, and I just pelt it. Like, I just don't stop.
What, on your bike?
And
you don't...
Yeah.
You're not on the roads, are you?
No.
No. If you don't put headphones on if you're on the road. I mean, there is of course the argument that if the car's going to knock you over, it's going to knock you over whether you've got your headphones on or not. But honestly, please don't put your headphones on if you're cycling on the road. You know, at least you can hear.
We've got like bone conducting ones, so they sit on like just in front of your ear.
Tell me about those, because I was considering something like that. Simply because I get when I've got my earphones on, I go litter picking, and I'm usually listening actually to my own show, criticising it. Yeah, while I'm going around. Are they where do they attach to? Is it round your neck? So
they like sit. If you put like your fingers in front of your ears, they've like got a little bony bit.
Okay.
Yeah, they sit like just there.
Is that behind or in front of?
Just in front of it.
What bit?
So they sit like that little bit, that little like semicircle in the middle of your earlobe.
Oh yeah. So
just in front of that.
Oh yeah, I can feel little bones there.
So they come over the top of your ears and sit down there.
And are they loud?
No, but you can hear everything else and what's coming through your headphones.
Okay.
That's why if you do like marathon running and the roads are open, you're not allowed to wear headphones, but you're allowed to wear them because you can hear around.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. I might I'll see how much they are on the Amazon. I've got a £20 Amazon voucher here that actually Vectis and Shania sent me for my birthday, which I completely forgot about. So I might see how much they are. Bone headphones. Shall I just type in bone headphones?
Bone conducting headphones.
Bone conducting headphones.
Recommend the titanium aftershock ones because they're good.
Oh, that sounds expensive.
The titanium isn't the material; it's the company.
Titanium aftershock. I've written that down, Ollie. I might just order some. If I order some of those, we will give a live demonstration on this programme.
Yeah, they're really good because you can like hear around and your headphones.
Right. Okay.
So if you're like out like on a run and like the roads are open, like they're not closed.
Yeah.
Then
so I suppose
you can hear like where the traffic is.
I suppose you could wear those on a bike. If you can hear everything around you, then there's not so much of a problem, is there? Are they Wi-Fi or do they have to be wired in? Do they?
They're Bluetooth.
Okay, Bluetooth. Yeah, Bluetooth as well.
You press a button and you turn them on, and then on your settings it'll come up with other devices, and they'll be like aftershock titanium or something,
right?
Or whatever like called, and then you just connect it and play whatever you want.
Oh, I think I'm going to have a look for those after the shower, as long as they're not too expensive, and I'll have a look. All right, Ollie, we'll have a nice evening. You back at school tomorrow, or are you on holiday yet? Or is that next week?
I'm off next week.
Okay. Well, enjoy your day at school tomorrow. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
And hi to your dad, all right? Bye now. There we are, Ollie K calling in. Listen to his show on the Reach on Air, which is next week, isn't it? Did he say Wednesday? Wednesday the 2nd, I think he said he was on. Wednesday the 2nd. 2nd of June, is it Wednesday next week? Yeah, Wednesday the 2nd of June. I think he's usually on sort of around about 5 o'clock time. And have a little listen to him. We'll just do one lot more of messages. Ross says, we have tins of pizza sauce as well. 2 sourdough bases, £1.59 at Tesco's. Thank you, Ross. I don't really have a Tesco's near me, Ross. That's the problem, you see. No Tesco's near me. Ross says, Emily does, that's his little girl, Emily does not like normal pizza. She only likes the soft Chicago town little microwave pizza. She's so weird, but they are quite nice too for a quick snack. Thank you, Ross. Paul Adamson says, sad to say, I put money on GB News not starting on the 31st as many think. They have not officially announced it yet. They've shared a video 3 days ago showing the construction of the studio. Does it look ready to you? Well, let's have a quick look what you've sent me. No, it doesn't look ready to me, but I will say on the subject of things that aren't quite ready, I've worked in pubs for years and they close and they have these refits. And you go down there a day before they're due to reopen and you look and you think there's no way this is going to be open tomorrow. And it always is. It always is. So they are. We're not builders. I know you're not a builder. I'm not a builder, and we see things. There's no way that can be ready. And then you go down there the next day and everything's done. And I'm amazed how quickly some people are able to do stuff like that. Often it don't look like it's going to be ready. We've got one more text left to read, and it's from Fran again. She says, on the subject of the pizzas, I love thick crust, ham and pineapple, garlic, flatbread pizza. All that sounds nice. Garlic flatbread. If I'm having garlic bread, I won't have cheesy garlic bread. I always think that's a bit of a sin. It's a sin, la da da da. Yeah, it is a sin. And it is a sin, but I've got to go now, gang. Time to disappear, I'm afraid. I know, you want me to stay for another 2 hours, don't you? Well, thanks ever so much for joining us. I'm sorry about the bit of a mix-up earlier on when we first started the show earlier. But you found us anyway, so that's good. Also, I'm not quite sure why the texts are sometimes taking some time to come in. I've no idea why that's happening. Some people, they come in straight away. Others, I think Mick was waiting about an hour before his text came in at like 20 past 9? And he said he sent that at 8 o'clock, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Thanks for joining us. Another chat show for you on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And then after that, we switch days. So after Wednesday's show, we then go Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 8 o'clock, all right? Tomorrow morning, I'll be on the radio. And guess who's on there later? At 12 o'clock tonight, Mr. Alan Ross is on Reach On Air. That's tomorrow night, Alan Ross, or tonight. Yeah, tomorrow night, Reach On Air. Alan Ross on there from midnight tonight. I'm on there tomorrow morning. Okay, it still says Monday there. I'm on there tomorrow morning at 2 minutes past 9, reachonair.com. Do join us on there. All right. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the show. Have a nice evening. Good night now.